Introduction. My name is Allison. I am a 64-year-old woman. I live in a small, comfortable house that holds many memories. My late husband and I bought this house many years ago. We planned to grow old here together. He is gone now, but I still feel his presence in the garden he loved. I am not alone in the house. My son, Mark, lives with me. He is 32 years old. He is a wonderful son, very kind and responsible. He is saving money for his future, and living at home helps him do that. Our life together has always been simple and peaceful. Mark and I have a very special relationship. We are more than just a mother and a son. We are also very close friends. We trust each other completely. Every evening, we sit at the kitchen table and talk about our day. He tells me about his work, and I tell him about my garden or the book I am reading. On weekends, we often watch old black and white movies that we both enjoy. He makes me laugh. Our home has always been a safe and warm place, full of love and understanding. I was very happy with our quiet life. I thought it would always be this way. Then, one afternoon, everything started to change. Mark came home from his job, and he had a very big smile on his face. He was not by himself. A young woman stood next to him. "Mom," he said, his voice full of excitement. "This is Bella. She is my new girlfriend." He looked at her with so much love in his eyes. It was a look I had not seen before. He was truly, deeply in love with this person. I looked at Bella. She was pretty, with long, dark hair and a sweet smile. She said hello in a soft voice. I smiled back and welcomed her into our home, but as I looked at her, I felt a strange coldness inside me. Her smile was beautiful, but it did not seem genuine. Her eyes were bright, but they looked hard and calculating. An immediate feeling of distrust washed over me. It was a strong feeling that I could not ignore. I did not have a reason for it, but my heart told me to be careful. A mother's intuition is a powerful thing. I wanted to be happy for Mark, because he was so clearly happy. But I could not shake the feeling that Bella was not who she seemed to be. Mark was blinded by his love. He saw a perfect angel. I saw a warning sign. I kept my worries to myself, but I knew our peaceful days were in danger. 2. Bella moves in. It happened very fast. Only a few weeks after Mark met Bella, she moved into our home. She arrived with 2 big suitcases and a wide smile. From the first day, things in my quiet house started to change. Bella was very loud. She played her music all day and talked on her phone for hours. She was not polite to me. When I said good morning, she sometimes did not answer. This was my house, the house I shared with my late husband, but she acted like it was her own special place. Bella did not have a job. She told Mark she was looking for one, but she never did. Every morning, Mark went to work, and Bella went shopping in the city. She often came home with new clothes, new shoes, and expensive bags. She used Mark's money for everything. Mark worked very hard every day, but Bella just spent his money on herself. She did not help in the house at all. She never cooked a meal or washed a dish. She left her things everywhere, and I had to clean up after her. I started to feel like a visitor in my own home. Soon, Bella started to say things to make me leave. She wanted the house for just herself and Mark. She often said to Mark, "This house is very big for 3 people. Maybe your mother wants a smaller, quiet place to live." She also said, "A nice apartment for older people would be very safe for her." She was not quiet when she said these things. I think she wanted me to hear her. She wanted me to feel uncomfortable and unwanted. The worst part was her lies about me. Every day, she told Mark that I was getting old and forgetful. "Your mother left the stove on again," she would tell him with a worried look. This was not true. Allison could not find her keys for an hour this morning. "Her memory is not very good," she would say. They were small lies, but she told them all the time. Slowly, I watched my son start to believe her. At first, Mark told her, "My mom is fine, Bella." But after many weeks, he started to watch me all the time. He looked at me with sad, worried eyes. "Mom, are you feeling all right?" he asked me one evening. He did not believe me when I said I was perfectly fine. He was starting to believe Bella. My heart was very heavy. I was afraid. I was losing my son to this woman and her terrible, clever lies. 3. Son thinks mother is sick. One quiet evening, Allison was sitting in her favorite armchair in the living room. She was reading a book and enjoying the silence. The house felt peaceful for the first time in many weeks. Mark and Bella were upstairs in their room, but the peace did not last long. Suddenly, Allison heard a loud noise from upstairs. Bella was shouting and throwing things. "Where is it? I cannot find it anywhere." Allison put her book down on the small table next to her. She was worried. A few moments later, Bella ran down the stairs. Her face was red and she looked very angry. Mark followed her. He looked confused and worried. "What is wrong, Bella? What happened?" Allison asked softly. Bella did not answer. She walked straight to Allison and pointed a finger at her. "My bracelet, my beautiful gold bracelet is gone. You were in my room. You took it." She screamed. Allison's eyes opened wide with shock. She could not believe Bella's words. "What? I did not take your bracelet, Bella. I would never do something like that," Allison said. Her voice was quiet and shaking. Mark did not look at his mother. He only looked at Bella, who started to cry. "Mark, it was a gift from my grandmother." "It is very special to me," Bella lied between her tears. "Your mother was in our room this morning when we were out. I know she took it." Mark turned to Allison. His face was cold and hard. "Mom, why did you do it? Bella is right. You have been acting strange for weeks. You forget things all the time. Now you are stealing things." Each word was like a sharp knife in Allison's heart. "Mark, please listen to me," she begged. "She is not telling the truth. Look at me, I am your mother." "I am looking at you," Mark said, his voice now loud and full of anger. "And I think you are sick. You really need professional help." While he shouted, Bella cried more and held his arm tightly. She looked at Allison over Mark's shoulder with a small, secret smile. Allison saw the smile, but Mark was not looking. Later that night, Mark came to Allison's room. He did not knock. He sat on the end of her bed and looked at the floor. "Mom, I have been thinking a lot," he started. "Maybe it is time for a change. There are very nice homes for older people. They have doctors and nurses there. They can take good care of you." Allison felt a deep cold inside her. A home for old people. He wanted to send her away from her own house. This was the house where she raised him, where all her happy memories were. Her son did not believe her. He believed a woman he knew for only a few months. Allison did not say anything. She just sat on her bed and stared at the wall. Big, silent tears ran down her face. She felt completely and terribly alone. Her heart was broken into 1,000 pieces. For Bella's bad acts. After Mark talked about the care home, Bella became more confident. Her plan was working, and her bad acts became bigger. She was not afraid to show her true self. She wanted me to feel scared and alone in my own house. Every day, she did something new to make me look confused and old. One morning, I could not find my house keys. I looked everywhere for them. I checked my pockets and my bag many times, but they were not there. I started to feel very worried. A little later, Bella came into the living room. She was holding my keys. "Are you looking for these, Allison?" she asked with a sweet smile. She told Mark she found them in the sugar bowl. I never put my keys there. I knew she hid them. She looked at Mark and said, "She forgets everything. It is not safe." Mark just looked at me with sad, worried eyes. A few days after that, I was cooking dinner. I was making soup. I left the kitchen for only 1 minute. When I came back, the stove was off and the soup was cold. Bella was standing by the door. "Did you forget to turn on the stove again?" she asked. I knew she turned it off, but Mark did not believe me when I told him. He just shook his head. Bella also started to tell lies to other people. She called Mark's friends on the phone. She told them that I was sick in my head. "Mark is having a very hard time," she said to them. "His mother is not well. Sometimes she can be a little dangerous." I felt so alone when I learned about these calls. My home did not feel like a safe place anymore. The worst thing happened last week. Bella went to my doctor's office. She told the doctor that I was a danger to myself. She asked for my private medical papers. My doctor, a kind man, refused to give her anything. He called me later to tell me about Bella's visit. I was shocked and scared. She was trying to destroy my life. That night, I did not cry. My sadness changed into anger. I was 64 years old, but I was not weak. This was my home and Mark was my son. I decided I was not going to let Bella win. I had to fight back and show my son the truth. 5. Mother collects proof. I was not a weak old woman. Bella was wrong about me. My sadness turned into anger, and my anger gave me a new idea. I needed to show Mark the truth, but he did not listen to my words. I needed proof that he could not ignore. My fight for my home and my son started now. First, I bought a small notebook. I kept it with me all the time. Every time Bella did something bad, I wrote it down. I wrote the date and the time. I wrote down her cruel words and her lies. When she told Mark I forgot to turn off the kitchen light, I wrote in my book that she turned it on after I went to bed. The small notebook was full of her secrets, but I knew a book was not enough. Mark could say it was just my story. I needed something more powerful. I went to a shop and bought a very small camera. It was a secret camera, easy to hide. The next day, Mark and Bella went out. The house was quiet. I took the camera and went to the living room. I looked for a good place. I decided to put it on the bookshelf behind a photo of my late husband. Nobody would see it there. I turned it on and felt my heart beat fast. I was nervous, but I was also hopeful. Now I only needed to wait. For 2 days, nothing important happened. I started to worry. But on the 3rd day, my plan worked. I checked the video that evening. I saw Bella walk into the living room alone. She looked around to see if anyone was there. Then she went to the small table where I kept my medicine. She picked up my box of pills, took some out, and put them in her pocket. Then she smiled a cold smile. I felt sick, but I also felt strong. I had my first piece of proof. The next day, I got something even better. Bella was on the phone with a friend. She was loud because she thought she was alone. The camera recorded everything. I heard her say, "Mark thinks his mother is crazy. Soon I will put her in a care home. Then we can sell this big house and have a lot of money." My hands were shaking when I heard her words. I saved the video. I finally had the proof I needed. I had her lies on video. I was not scared anymore. I was ready to show my son the real Bella. 6. Truth comes out. The next Sunday was a quiet morning. Mark and Bella were in the kitchen. They were drinking coffee and laughing about something on the radio. They looked happy together. Allison watched them for a moment from the hallway. Her heart was beating very fast, but she felt strong. She held her phone tightly in her hand. She had the proof in her pocket. It was time for the truth. She walked into the kitchen. Her face was serious and calm. "Mark, Bella, I need to show you something important," she said. Her voice was steady and did not shake. Mark looked surprised. He put his coffee cup down. Bella stopped laughing and watched Allison with cold, narrow eyes. Allison took out her phone. She did not say another word. She just pressed play. The video started. The small screen showed their own living room. It showed Bella when she thought she was alone. Bella walked to the medicine cabinet. She took Allison's heart medicine and hid the bottle behind a big book on the shelf. Then Bella turned and smiled a cruel smile. Mark's face went white. He looked from the phone to Bella, then back to the phone. "What is this? Explain this, Bella," he asked. His voice was quiet and strange. "It's fake, it's a lie," Bella shouted immediately. Her face was red with anger. "Your mother is sick. She is trying to destroy our love." Allison stayed calm. "There is more," she said simply. She played another recording. This time it was only sound. It was Bella's voice, clear and loud, talking to a friend on the phone. "Soon, the old woman will be in a special home," Bella said on the recording. "Then I will tell Mark to sell this house. We will have so much money." The kitchen was completely silent. The only sound was Bella's terrible plan coming from the phone's speaker. Mark stared at the phone. He did not move at all. He listened to every single word. The sweet voice he loved was saying these horrible things. He slowly lifted his head and looked at Bella. His eyes were not full of love anymore. They were full of shock, anger, and pain. Bella started to cry. "Mark, darling, it's not what you think. She is tricking you. Please believe me." But Mark was not looking at her. He was looking at his mother. He saw all the sadness in her eyes from the past months. He also saw her incredible strength now. "I am not sick, Mark," Allison said, her voice loud and powerful. "I am your mother, and you chose to believe a woman who wanted to destroy me and steal from our family." Mark finally saw the truth. He looked at Bella, and he did not see the woman he loved. He saw a stranger. He saw a liar. 7. Bella leaves home. After Mark saw the videos, he stood very still. He looked from the phone to Bella's face. He did not need to see any more. He finally knew the truth. His voice was quiet but very strong when he spoke. "Pack your bags, Bella," he said. "I want you out of this house tonight." Bella looked shocked. She could not believe what she was hearing. Her plan did not work. At first, Bella tried to act sweet. She started to cry and said, "Mark, my love, you can't believe her. She is old and confused. The videos are not real." She tried to touch his face, but he moved away from her. When her sweet act did not work, her personality changed completely. Her face became hard and ugly. "Fine." She screamed at him. "You will be sorry for this. I will tell everyone that you are the problem, not your mother. I will ruin your life." Allison and Mark watched her. They stayed silent and just listened to her angry words. Mark did not shout back. He just pointed to the front door. He was not angry anymore. He just looked sad and very tired. For the first time, he saw the real Bella. She was not the sweet woman he loved. She was a loud, angry, and selfish person. Bella grabbed her coat and her purse. She continued to scream as she walked to the door. She opened it and slammed it shut behind her. the loud noise echoed in the house. Then there was silence. The house was finally peaceful again. A week later, Mark told his mother important news. He went to a lawyer's office that day. He filed for a divorce from Bella. The bad woman who tried to destroy their family was now gone from their lives forever. That evening, Mark sat down with Allison in the quiet living room. He could not look at her at first. He looked at the floor, full of shame. "Mom," he started, and his voice was shaking. "I am so sorry for everything. I hurt you so much. I believed her lies, and I was a terrible son. I was so wrong. Please, can you ever forgive me?" He finally looked up at her, and his eyes were red and full of tears. Allison looked at her son, and her heart was full of love, not anger. She felt sad for the pain he also experienced. She put her hand on his. "Of course, I forgive you, Mark," she said softly. "You were hurt too. We are family, and families make mistakes." A small smile appeared on her face. "We have our home back, and we have each other back." Mark hugged his mother for a long time. It was the beginning of their reconciliation. 8. Life is good again. After Bella was gone, the house changed. It was quiet, but it was a happy quiet. The dark, heavy feeling left with her. For many weeks, Allison felt scared in her own home. Now she felt peace. She could make tea in her kitchen without worrying. She could sit in her favorite chair and read a book for hours. The air felt fresh, and the rooms seemed brighter. It was her home again, a place of safety and love. The bad memories started to go away, and the good memories returned. She remembered all the happy years with her husband and a young Mark in this house. This was her place. Mark was also different. He was quieter than before, but he was more thoughtful. He spent more time at home with Allison. He helped her with the garden on weekends and cooked dinner 3 times a week. He always made sure she was comfortable and happy. One afternoon, he sat with her at the kitchen table. "Mom," he started, his voice serious, "I am so sorry for everything. I was blind and I did not listen to you. I will never let anyone hurt you again. I promise you." Allison put her hand on his. She saw the truth in his eyes. He was her son again, the kind and loving man she raised. As the weeks passed, the summer evenings became long and warm. One night, Allison and Mark sat on the porch together. They used to do this often before Bella came into their lives. They watched the sun set behind the trees. The sky was a beautiful mix of orange, pink, and purple. They did not need to talk much. The comfortable silence between them said everything. It showed their relationship was healing. They drank cool lemonade and listened to the quiet sounds of the evening. It was a simple, perfect moment. Allison felt her heart become light again. Mark finally broke the peaceful silence. He turned to look at his mother. "You are the strongest woman I know, Mom," he said. His voice was full of admiration. "You knew Bella was a bad person from the start. I did not want to see it. He shook his head slowly. I was a fool, and I almost lost you because of my mistake. You had to fight for everything by yourself. You saved our home and our family. He looked at her, and his eyes were a little wet. Thank you for not giving up on me. Allison squeezed his hand gently. You are my son, Mark. I would never give up on you. She looked out at the last light of the day. She thought about the difficult months. The pain of betrayal was real, and the heartbreak was deep. For a time, she thought she lost everything important to her, but she found a strength inside her that she did not know she had. She fought back with truth. Now, her life was good again. Her dignity was restored. Her relationship with her son was rebuilt, and it was stronger than before. She smiled. The house was warm, her son was with her, and her heart was full.